Thanks for joining us today. Today we sit down with Randy, our Midtown location manager, to talk about leadership, our core values, and how we live those every day and try to exceed them. We'll get into all kinds of different topics with what sets Central Body apart and what it is that we can do to grow and foster our team, along with communicating at a high level with our customers to keep our employees happy and to keep our customers coming back. Well, today we're sitting down with our Midtown manager, Randy, to talk a little bit about what brought you to Central Body, your career path, and what it is you do for the company. Welcome. Thank you for taking the time.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So let's start with your career path. And I know you've had, you didn't just start in the collision repair industry, right?
Not actually at first.
Mm-hmm.
It was through parts and service at multiple dealerships up through then. Then I transitioned my way back and then thought about giving it a shot after I'd got back. So I'd answered an ad in the paper, and there's where my journey has started, yeah. It's been a good one.
Okay. So you made the transition from service to collision repair.
Correct.
Okay. What does that look like?
A lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot to learn. You're learning all over again.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Still taking care of the people. A lot of the basic business principles, customer care, a lot of that has stayed the same. But the products are a lot different.
Right. So let's talk about the leadership side and customer communication a little bit. So over the years, what are some key things that you've learned about making sure that you stay out of the hot seat with clients? Whether it's on the service side, collision, or you even have some experience in the restaurant industry, right?
Yeah. That's a great question. I don't think you can ever over-communicate. I think if a customer asks for maybe calls twice a week, you could call them 13 and it's still not enough.
Yeah.
So just always keeping them in the loop. People anymore today are more inquisitive. They want to know, but then they want to know what they think they know, which is now getting down into the process of the way things are repaired, in what order that things happen in.
Yeah. So we believe in transparency at Central Body, right? And so you talked about that communication. Help me tie in transparency with what we do, because in the automotive industry, it's pretty tough because there isn't a lot of transparency and there are some bad actors. Mm-hmm. That really aren't honest all the time with their clients. So we do big and tall collision repair at all the shops, right? So at your location, we're doing more high roof sprinter van, shuttle bus, and stuff like that, box truck. So you deal with not only the retail client, so the soccer mom driving the minivan, but also a fleet client, right, that has maybe 30 vans. So how do you juggle all that, and what does that transparency and communication look like through the process?
So I think a lot of it is the right work scheduled at the right time, over-explaining the process to the customer. In transparency, I encourage a customer to come down, see where their car's at in the repair process. I love taking them through that.
Okay, so you touched on something else that is important. You also have to deal with insurance adjusters. Mm-hmm. So what does that look like for transparency with them?
So I've worked with a lot of insurance companies over the last few years, a lot of the same adjusters. So if you always take care of them and you treat them right, you be transparent, and integrity is huge in the insurance business. A lot of times you can close those relationships up. But on the occasion, you get some new ones that will still want to come down and see if what you told them was correct and the pricing was correct and all of that. And I encourage that as well. I'd love to build those relationships. Yeah.
So one of the things that I've noticed since you've taken the position at your location is the cleanliness of the shop and the office, right? Every time I come into your office, everything's in its place. Even the plants that my wife put in your office are well fed and watered, right? So I appreciate that about what you've done with the location. What has your leadership done to lift up the team members at your location?
I think that they've engaged in the process, that that needed to be there. I don't think it's anything new to them. I think they wanted a leader that wanted to engage with them, see the same vision that they saw, and just want to be a part of something great.
Yeah. So you touched on one of our core values, which is employee satisfaction. Mm-hmm. And so that's really important that not only you build your team and that we support you in building your team, but that you keep the team happy. So on a day-to-day, what does that look like? How do you start your day? What are your touch points with your team members? And then how do you wrap it up?
So I always start off by making a pot of coffee. Mm-hmm. Some of them enjoy that. And then we always start the morning off with a meeting. We'll still touch every car. We'll talk about every car. We'll ask for any needs, if anyone is having any issues or problems. Then we kind of set our day forward. You know, if we have 3 cars ready for paint, which one's going to be first? Which one's going to be second? And it gives them a sense of direction that's easier to accomplish. At the same time, then I know the process of the cars that are going in next, right? And maybe set them up for a sublet, or if they have to go somewhere else, or if they're going to be ready for reassembly. You know, do they need calibration? And then I make several passes throughout the day. And it's not so much to check up on their work as it is to see if they need anything. And a lot of times they just want to know that you're there as well.
Yeah.
So I got frustrated on this F550 yesterday. So insurance isn't sure if they want to total it. Customer would love to have it totaled. So now you're kind of in the middle of a pickle. So we were doing some work on it, and I just shook my head, and I just go, I can't believe this. I can't. And Sane looked up at me, and he goes, you're in the right place, buddy. Just hang in there.
Nice.
So, yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. That's really cool to hear. So you've also worked at other collision repair shops. What sets Central Body apart as far as culture and how we do things?
So I think culture is fantastic. Nobody leads a team telling anybody what to do, and you almost don't even have to ask them to do anything because they're just engaged. They know what's next. As I want to do the things to please the business owner, they want to do the same things to please myself, and it's just a really good working environment. It's a great attitude. Everybody enjoys being there. So, I mean, that part's pretty simple. Kind of takes care of itself. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, personal and family goals, what does that look like for you?
I'd like to get back to golfing again.
Yeah.
Since the surgery, we do have a swimming pool installed in the backyard, but now we can't use it until next year with the weather. I think at this point of the game, even employment-wise, it's a lot of the same work, but I think as you get older, you get more engaged. The things that you want to accomplish are always ever-changing, I guess, would probably be a good way to put it. Everything is more with a purpose in what you want to accomplish now. And I've kind of taken some of that into my family life as well. 2 granddaughters. They're having their house, should be done being built by the end of the year. So I don't have to no longer go over to her mother-in-law's to see the kids, you know, which will be great. But just really focusing on the things that are really, really more important, you know, that as you get older, the kids get up and out of the house, life kind of changes a little bit. And now you want to just sit back and enjoy, you know, a lot of different benefits. And one of the big things when you talk about culture, at Central Body, it really allows you the time to do that. Because, you're not taking work home. You're not worried about a lot of things. Everybody's getting along. I mean, when you leave the doors, you know, at 5:30 at night, I mean, you're truly leaving your place of employment and go enjoy your family life, and then it turns back on the next morning when you walk in. So I love it.
Awesome. That's important for us to hear because that's what we're accomplishing and working on constantly is that culture. So You mentioned family's really important to you, and you're a man of faith as well, right? And so
I drive the scooter every Sunday.
Yeah, you did tell me about that, right?
I still do. Almost every week I do that. And I love it because you just get to meet a lot of the people there. And then you see the same people every week. It's the same ones that get a ride, and most of them are elderly, and they always forget where they park. But they generally park in the same spot every week. So finding their car is usually something easy to do, but
you bet.
It's awesome. Yeah.
Nice. And so I was at a conference here recently with a bunch of business owners, and some of them are a little bit older than I am. Not much older, but they talked about playing the back nine now. They're now at that stage of their life, and so a lot of us are reevaluating where we're at with our purpose, and money's not everything, and you can have the toys and the boats and stuff like that, but you start to realize what's truly important with family and granddaughters and all those types of things, but also internally with your own team. And that's something that I truly believe is it's our purpose as the leaders to be good stewards of the people that are put in our care and to raise those people up. So feels like you're doing that and living in your purpose.
Absolutely, totally, and I completely agree with the employees. I think most people anymore don't want to come into work for a dead-end job or thinking that this is all they could ever do or all that they could ever be worth, right? So we kind of owe it to them from when we started out, way back in the beginning. And we have to allow them the opportunities and then help them to grow into that. And that's a big thing for me. I'm not going to be around forever, and the best person to take that spot would be the one that you mentored, the one that wants to do it, that knows exactly what we need to go do and accomplish it. And that's a great feeling.
Absolutely.
I still feel like hitting 18 holes when I go.
Yeah.
And still enjoy driving the car every once in a while. So still got a little bit of life left.
Absolutely. So, we talked a lot about, what it is that, we're trying to work with our technicians and our teams. We're very proud of the teams that we've built, and I appreciated what you've done with your team. It is important, I believe, in the role of leadership for us to point out individual contributions along the way, from the entry-level technician that's washing the car, just new on the job, right? Maybe just came out of tech school and stuff like that. So how do you provide that feedback to let them know that just by washing that car, they're contributing to the overall company goals and trying to give the vehicle back to the customer in a timely manner? Because really, if we don't take care of the customer, right, we don't have a business. So we want to take care of the employees. And by taking care of them, one of our other core values is exceptional customer experience. So tie it all together for me.
Right. So, we use a system called the car beat board. Car beat board is brought down into 12 different sections. Each person has their own section to do, so a car can't be started and finished until it's touched everybody. And so everybody plays a major role, right? Because how many guys do we have that can paint at our place besides the painter we got?
Right.
Can cut a quarter panel, can align a semi, and then tear down a vehicle, wait 7 days, and then try and remember which parts go where and to that right vehicle. And they're the last ones to see it as well, right? So biggest impact of everybody really is the last guy that's going to touch that, and then the quality check. And I think it's huge. So we're constantly moving the chain with the car. We're always moving forward, right? A part of that system can tell us how many days that the car's been there and how many days in each box that it's been there. So if something's been sitting a little too long in an area where we know it shouldn't be, then you may have a problem. So it's easier to detect that way. And I think as long as you follow the system, you'll always meet the vehicle time out or the cycle time, which is very important to customer satisfaction. And that's delivering the car on or before the day that you thought that you would.
Yeah, and you're relying on that information with all of those touch points when you're communicating with the customer and the insurance company.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. So that that information that you're getting from your team. And you mentioned the chain, right? And we believe that we're only as strong as the weakest link in the chain. So whether that's the person checking in the car at the front office and getting the keys and being that face that first answers the phone and the first voice and the first interaction with the company, to the person washing the vehicle and making sure that we clean up our mess so the client gets it back in better shape than when they dropped it off.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's all I have. What questions do you have for me? One of the questions I did have is please open it up if you have any questions that leadership has not been clear about. If there's been any things talked about that rumors or whatever, I'm happy to answer those on camera as well.
Okay. I haven't heard any rumors.
That's good.
And not really any questions. So I haven't really been there for a real long time, 6 or 7 weeks. But I truly love what I do. I think that the culture and atmosphere is a little bit different from when I got there. But I've learned a lot, right? So you never go into any chapter in the book thinking you already know what the chapter's going to say before you read it, right? And so it's been as good of an experience for myself as it has, I think, for the employees. And then just to do it together, day in and day out, has just been fantastic. I love working for Central Body. I don't look at it as just another repair shop because we have a niche, right? We do the big and talls, the big and uglies, the RVs, and not everybody does that. So we give them more than just one reason with a vehicle to come into the shop. And then from that point, we can establish every reason to keep them coming back. So.
That's the idea, keep them coming back, right? Because if we're losing 2 clients out the back door and only gaining 1 through the front door, it's not going to be too long before we don't have any customers, right?
Correct.
So, and you do a great job of keeping them happy, so.
Appreciate that.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us here today. If you have any questions, please contact us online at centralbody.com and look up the links in the descriptions.